Good morning, everybody. It's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I'm really excited to show you this hardcover journal. I finished it up yesterday morning before going to work, and I tried my best to do a video on my lunch break, and I did complete one, but I never got it uploaded. I spent the night with my grandkids last night, so I am starting afresh this morning. I'm out in my workshop. I love it out here. The temperature is nice this morning. I have my heater going. I've got some candles in here, so I'm just having a little time in my playhouse before I have other things I have to complete today. I am taking part in the Show Me Your Hardcover challenge that Priscilla is doing at Releasethecraftin. It was perfectly timed for me because I've been wanting to do a hardcover journal just for a writing journal. And I will put some embellishments or ephemera into it as I come across things. I already have some things to go in here from yesterday. This is going to be quick because it's pretty straightforward. I had this lovely old book. It was a library copy. And let me tell you right from the start, I work in the reuse industry and I see how many books are discarded. We don't discard them. We give them a last chance. That's what we are all about. I've researched this book. It's not a rare book. It's not an uncommon book. It has tape markings on it from being a library copy. And after realizing how many books get thrown away, I do not feel bad about turning this into a piece of art to write in. I do still have the text block, and I'm planning to read it actually to my grandchildren. I may even put a different cover on that. So this, I just fell in love with this cover. That's all there is to it, and I wanted to use it. It's very botanical looking. Miss Hickory, and would you just look at the illustration? Part of the reason it pulled on my heartstrings so much is that it is about a little doll made from twigs, and my mother taught us how to play like that. We would make dolls with acorn heads, and she showed us, you can just picture a tree trunk and how the roots come up above the ground in places and leave this little cutout of earth. Sometimes moss is growing there. Those would be the rooms for the dolls. You can find little pebbles, little pieces of wood, even treasures. You know how Jason and I love to treasure hunt. There are all sorts of things you can use to make a dollhouse while you're playing out in nature. The charms on this, we have the little squirrel and it looks like maybe a swallow, little bird, and then the old key. This key says 136P as in Paul. And look at the bottom of that. I love old keys. Now, let me show you the inside. I know that Priscilla offered the chance for people to do a tutorial. I took the text block out, and there are a lot of tutorials on how to do that. I took an X-Acto knife and sliced between where the text block was sitting and this cover back here. You have to be careful not to punch the X-Acto knife into the book itself. Sometimes they're glued in pretty good and they're hard to get out. Sometimes they pull right out. So I cut out this side as well and pulled the text block out, laid the book down really flat, and took a piece of muslin and I cut it 2 inches across by exactly how tall the paper was on the inside of the book. So of course there's always paper glued on the inside. I wanted to completely cover that, not going under it and not going above it, because I knew that would make the book look more natural. I glued down that piece of muslin with PVC bookmaker's glue. It's a white glue. I really like it. And then I happened to get my hands on some beautiful, beautiful paper. So this paper is made by a company called Arches of France, and I'm going to link their website. You can see the embossed words here showing that it's Arches paper. It shows the kind that it is. They make watercolor paper, they make printer's paper and writer's paper. They make paper for oil painting. This paper is unbelievable. It is worth it to see their website though and read a little bit about them. Their website is so remarkably well done. The images flow just like this paper does. So I cut out 2 pieces of this paper. I saw it and wanted it as the paper in here, and I wanted this Arches France to show. I measured. You just measure, you know, and use your cutting board, your paper trimmer, your paper cutter to get the measurements right, and I glued that down with PVC glue. After I glued in the paper on the front and the back inside cover, and of course it covered up the edge of this fabric. Then I went back, this came from the original book, I glued that down. I can hear the birds outside. Left a little bit of space around this where you can still see that gorgeous white paper. Cut another piece with the deckled edges here, and well, that one was their original edge, and then I tore that one. Put my stamp here. The signature, it's one signature. I wanted to stay with the botanical theme. This is some beautiful paper that I had from a poster, and then there are going to be writing pages. I didn't want this book to start out too thick because I'll be adding a little bit to it, not as much as one of my fun journals like the lace cover journal or the quilt cover journal. That's more of a, they are writing journals as well, but they're also mixed media art journals. Live your life with grace. And look at the stitching around here. I chose a setting on my sewing machine that makes that stitch that has the leaves, and there's not a lot of decorated paper in here, just interspersed with the writing paper. I think there are 4 or 5 places where I used scrapbook paper and gave myself, I think there are 4 total pockets in here. Again, there's more pretty scrapbook paper. I didn't put a pocket on that one because I didn't want too much bulk in here. More of that beautiful botanical paper. It's got a texture. That's a really nice paper. Sorry, those charms are hitting the little container in the back. More of that. And a little bit more of this beautiful paper. I did fold the edge over here and put that stitch all the way across. This is the center of the journal. I love that it's about pressing flowers or pressing plants because that ties right in with loving nature. Children being able to use these toys that have been put in nature for us by God. I love just that we can go out and find things like that. I did love that I could use this paper. I don't use a lot of children's books. I've just not been drawn to do that. I don't do the little golden books. I love to see when other people create with those, but this one struck a chord with me, and I think it's because it is botanical and it feels more adult, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word. Definitely for children, but it has sort of an ethereal, mystical quality about it that I love. I love fairy tales. I love Grimm's fairy tales, and I love fables. I'm glad I was exposed to things like that as a child, and my mother definitely read to us, and I can even remember her quoting the poem The Raven from memory. So that's probably where my love of Edgar Allan Poe came from. Isn't that beautiful? This poster was folded, so you can see the folds in the paper, and I don't mind that. I could even come back with my iron and iron that out if I want to. So I'm gonna just flip on through here, and I will definitely share the journaling with this. I love this. Miracles occur when life happens. Sing your best life. And you know I love that. I think our attitudes have so much to do with how we proceed and how we progress in life. And then I love this last page with the roots, the ferns, just a really beautiful, beautiful piece of paper. There is the pocket from the original book that had the card in it. I currently have some cards that I can put one in here. They're vintage, and I think I have some blank ones. Again, you can see the tape on here. The way that was bound is just a simple pamphlet stitch using hemp cord, and I love to tie the strings on the outside. I tie the charms long enough down or far enough down or high enough up, however you want to put this, on the string so that you can pull them up above the book and write. That way they're not under the book. So that's pretty much it, I think. And thank you, Priscilla, for encouraging everyone to do a hardcover journal. I love mine already. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to new subscribers. I'm very glad that you're here. I welcome you to comment and join in the Birdsong community. I think we have a good time here, and I know that there are a lot of really nice people who hang out here. I will see you very soon. Bye for now.